Okay, Pixiano toy piano, part two. You should see my first video on this first. See the state the thing arrived in, and the work I've done on it since. I will now show here. Basically, we have 12 metal bars or tines attached, which are hit by the hammers of the piano. So each one, when it's hit, makes a note. Now, 6 of them were broken, and so I had to make some new ones and then fit them in. Basically, what I had to buy was 3mm diameter steel bar. I think it's a silver steel bar, and I got 4 lengths of this, 330mm long, and then I slide them in to the 3mm holes and cut them to the right length, or have a rough guess at the right length, and then cut them off. Then they need to be shaped. Now this is quite a difficult part. You really need a grinder, or you could use a file, but it would take a lot longer. And you need to shape the end rather like I've shown here. So using the grinder, I needed to narrow down a waist in it near the bottom end where it fixes on. They've all got this, they've all got a narrow piece at the end. And basically what that does is enable this thing to vibrate based on this point here. So first of all, the first step is to grind this waste into the rod, and you're aiming to get an end. There's a piece here which I've cut off, but I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's actually flattened, and that's a piece of the old one that was snapped off. So basically what you then do, having ground this waste in, is to get this end flattened. And the way I did that was to heat it up with a blowtorch until it was glowing orange hot, very brightly, and then quickly hammer it to flatten it. And it might take 2 or 3 goes to get a big enough flat on the end. The idea being that when you push it into the 3mm hole from this side, the widened part will jam in the hole, and you can tap them in with a hammer until they're flush with this, and that holds them firmly in place. So that's how I made and replaced the 6 missing tines. Now the thing about them is the length is kind of very critical if you wanted to get it exactly in tune. What I found with this is even the 6 that were still there were not perfectly in tune by any means. So it's a bit of a compromise. It is a toy. If somebody wanted to mess around for ages, they could probably get these precisely in tune. But the way to tune it is this. If the note is too low, you can file or grind a bit off the end to shorten the length of the rod, which will obviously give you a higher note. However, if the note was too high, there's still a way back without having to make another rod. And what you do is what I've done here with this one, which is slightly too short. It was too long, and then it was slightly too short afterwards. But you can add solder to the end, which increases the mass of the bar, and that will give you a lower note. So you can actually put solder on there, and maybe if you put enough solder on to make it slightly flat, slightly too low, you can then gradually file the solder off, which is very soft, until you get the note you want. And I was trying to get a compromise here because, as I say, the existing 6 weren't in tune either. And rather than mess about with the existing rods, I decided to just approximate it, as it is just a toy. But somebody who really wanted to mess around, it would be possible to get these spot on with a lot of work. For me, I just wanted the thing functional, and then the rest would be cosmetic, and replacing things like the feet and so on. So they do all sound now. So that's got me a complete set of chimes for it. for the 12 notes that it plays. There are no sharps and flats, so it's all in the key of C, and basically makes it a bit simpler. But replacing 6 of these was enough, believe me. So that's those. Also, for the original book that I had when I was a child, I still got, this is the book that came with it, but the front page was missing, the cover and the first song was missing. So what I managed to find was another book. Whoops. And there it is. So I've got the correct book, and this is in really nice condition. I was very pleased to come by this, which is a book which actually goes with this piano. So that's a nice complete one there. So put that one back. So basically that's it. That's the stage I'm at the moment. I've got to fix the little hammers are back on the keys, but I've got to fix them back properly, and then start thinking about the woodwork and cleaning it all up, getting it painted, and the new logo put on, the new feet made, and the little rests which go on the top which hold the book. So those are the next bits to do on this project. But I'm hoping it may have helped anyone who's trying to repair the tines on these things, because I've not found anywhere on YouTube of somebody actually replacing any. I did find out the tuning tip by using solder online, but actually replacing them, well, I haven't found anyone else that's done it, so hopefully this will help someone else. Thanks for watching.